The Trojan War stands as one of the most epic and tragic events in Greek mythology, not only for the ferocity of its battles but also for the complex web of love, betrayal, and divine intrigue that sparked the conflict. The tale begins with a divine beauty contest, where Paris, Prince of Troy, was faced with an impossible decision. Invited to judge the fairest among the goddesses, Paris awarded the title to Aphrodite, the goddess of love. In doing so, he not only gained the promise of love, but unknowingly ignited a war of unimaginable scale. In return for Paris's favor, Aphrodite vowed to reward him with the love of Helen, the stunning wife of Menelaus, king of Sparta. Helen was no ordinary woman. She was considered the most beautiful mortal in the world, and possessing her meant wielding great prestige and power. When Paris took Helen back to Troy, Menelaus saw it as a grievous betrayal. Enraged, he joined forces with his brother, Agamemnon, and assembled a mighty coalition of Greek kingdoms to wage war and reclaim his honor. Thus began a brutal conflict that would rage for 10 long years. Legendary heroes like Achilles, Hector, and Odysseus took to the battlefield, each carrying unique virtues and flaws. Achilles, unmatched in strength and valor, became a symbol of war itself. Yet his pride and unchecked ego led to tragic misjudgments, choices that would cost many their lives. Hector, the noble defender of Troy, was no less heroic. A paragon of loyalty and duty, he fought not for glory but for family and homeland. His fated duel with Achilles was more than a clash of warriors. It was a clash of ideologies, patriotism and honor versus pride and the thirst for glory. Their encounters became immortal legends, etched into the memory of generations. The involvement of the gods made the war even more tumultuous. Zeus, the supreme god of Olympus, remained outwardly impartial in Homer's Iliad, yet inwardly torn between justice and personal affections. At times he aided the Trojans, at others he supported the Greeks. Though committed to maintaining divine balance, Zeus could not help but be swayed by the entreaties and rivalries of fellow deities. Hera, Zeus's wife and queen of the gods, harbored a deep hatred for Troy. Her grudge stemmed from Paris's choice to favor Aphrodite over her in the beauty contest, a slight she never forgave. Siding with the Greeks, Hera frequently used her divine power to turn the tide in their favor, enhancing Achilles' might or orchestrating victories on the battlefield. Yet even her interventions could not always alter fate. Athena, goddess of wisdom and war, became a steadfast supporter of the Greeks. Her guidance was invaluable to heroes like Achilles and Odysseus. More than just a warrior deity, she brought strategy and cunning into play, notably guiding the conception of the Trojan Horse and offering crucial counsel throughout the war. Athena's intellect and foresight made her both a divine prodigy and a master tactician in the eyes of mortals. On the other side stood Aphrodite, fiercely protective of Paris and the Trojans. Driven by emotion, she frequently intervened to shield Paris from danger, especially when he faced threats from heroes like Achilles. Though grateful for his earlier choice, Aphrodite's interventions often fell short, unable to save him from the grim fate that awaited. Other gods, such as Apollo and Artemis, also took sides. Apollo, god of light and healing, lent his strength to the Trojans, especially Hector, empowering him in battle. Yet he also brought doom upon Greek warriors, most notably contributing to Achilles' demise. Artemis, Apollo's sister and goddess of the hunt, supported Troy as well, seeking revenge for Agamemnon's affront to her divine honor. The gods' constant meddling rendered the war unpredictable and unjust. Their decisions were often driven not by reason or fairness, but by jealousy, vengeance, and personal ties. Divine caprice, more than mortal valor, shaped the outcomes on the battlefield. After years of deadlock, the Greeks realized brute force alone could not breach Troy's formidable walls. At that crucial moment, Odysseus, the shrewdest of all Greek heroes, devised a daring plan, the Trojan Horse. This massive wooden structure, hollow inside, concealed elite Greek warriors. Presented as a peace offering, it was left at the city gates to deceive the Trojans. Believing the Greeks had surrendered and sailed away, the Trojans brought the horse into their city as a trophy. That night, they held grand celebrations, reveling in what they thought was a decisive victory. But as darkness fell, the hidden Greek soldiers emerged silently from the horse. Opening the city gates from within, they allowed the Greek army, hidden nearby, to storm into Troy. Taken by surprise and still intoxicated from their revels, the Trojans were unable to defend themselves. The Greeks, bolstered by allied forces, quickly overwhelmed the once mighty city. In a haze of panic and confusion, Troy fell. The proud city that had stood for centuries was reduced to ashes. This story, while a tribute to Greek ingenuity, also serves as a cautionary tale. In war, overconfidence and blind trust can be fatal mistakes. The fall of Troy marked not only the end of a mighty city, but also a monumental moment in ancient Greek epic literature. The tale of the wooden horse and the sudden ambush remains a timeless metaphor for deception and tactical brilliance in warfare. Ultimately, the war was far more than a clash between two cities. It was a conflict of values, of love, loyalty, and betrayal. Paris's fateful choice set into motion a chain of tragedies, and Achilles' flaws brought further ruin. Though the Greeks emerged victorious, their triumph came at a great cost, a haunting legacy of loss, sorrow, and shattered glory.